Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth detailing last night's strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities from the Pentagon this morning. Hegseth, along with Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Caine, saying the operation, dubbed Midnight Hammer, was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history, and calling it an overwhelming success that obliterated Iran's nuclear ambitions.
As President Trump has stated, the United States does not seek war. But let me be clear. We will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened. Iran should listen to the President of the United States and know that he means it, every word.
Israel's President Isaac Herzog added today that his country is, quote, not dragging America into a war, but leaving it up to President Trump. Operation Midnight Hammer targeted the Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear sites. President Trump said yesterday the goal of the strike was to destroy Iran's nuclear capacities, seeing it as a nuclear threat to the world. These strikes represent the first direct U.S. military attack on Iran, further escalating the conflict between Iran and Israel. NBC's Matt Bradley has more from Tel Aviv.
Well, it's been a couple of hours since President Donald Trump decided to put U.S. forces in the region and on the line in Israel's fight against Iran. And so far, the response here from Israel has been an overwhelming one of gratitude. We just saw there were basically billboards on the highway here in Tel Aviv that I saw a couple of days ago that urged President Trump to finish the job, with a picture of the president himself on it. Already this morning, we've seen pictures. Those billboards have changed over to "Thank you, Mr. President." And we heard similarly fulsome praise from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. He came out and he was almost restraining his glee, seeing how the president had weighed in. We also heard this from top ministers, one from the energy and infrastructure minister saying that President Trump was probably one of the best friends of the Jewish people ever. Now, here in Israel, we're also seeing a reaction on a security level. Restrictions have returned to people's movements around the city and around the country, similar to what we saw over the past week when the Iranians were pelting Israel with missiles. Whether or not that continues will depend on whether or not the Israelis' assessment of the Iranians' capacity to retaliate will stay the same. Now, we did get treated to yet another set of sirens, another set of incoming missiles this morning, according to Israeli officials, that only resulted in about 24 dead. Now, whether or not that means that this is the end of Iran's capacity to retaliate, we'll know in the coming days.
Colorado leaders on both sides of the aisle responding to last night's attack. Governor Polis posting on X, quote, state, local, and federal partners remain vigilant against all threats to Coloradans and the state's infrastructure and military assets. He adds in a reply, no threats are known at this time. And Representative Jeff Hurd, a Republican, saying in part, I fully support actions taken to prevent an evil regime from being able to harm us, Israel, and our other allies.